Back to news we go. Several art-based organizations throughout Minnesota were alerted by the National Institute of Arts last week that grant funding they had received for new or ongoing projects had been terminated as the agency rethinks its funding priorities. KIMT News 3's Evan Berg spoke with a 2024 grant recipient, the Minnesota Marine Art Museum. That's in Winona. He joins us now in studio. So, Evan, how could this move impact the Minnesota art scene?
Cami, a lot of these grants supported individual projects, with the NEA, the National Endowment for the Arts, that is, normally contributing somewhere between $10,000 to $100,000, unless it's partnering with another organization. The Marine Art Museum says last year it received its first ever grant from the NEA for $35,000 to help create a catalog for a $200,000 art exhibition about race along major waterways like the Mississippi. The museum's director says the withdrawal of support for some organizations probably won't break the bank, but it will likely leave many scrambling to find new ways to fill the gaps to fund local art projects.
Museums need to plan 2 to 3 years ahead, and small projects like that are a part of a bigger thing, if they aren't funded, we have to pivot and think twice about how we're going to do that work. Again, there are a number of individuals who could contribute to that, other private foundations that have to step forward to take up the lack of that support.
Pollock says the uncertainty surrounding the NEA and some smaller organizations like the National Endowment for the Humanities and the Institute for Museum and Library Services has his museum nervous about what could be coming later down the line for some of its own pending grant requests this year. Back to you, Cami.
All right, Evan, thank you so much. Quick question for you. You have a book here. What is the book in your hand?
Oh, this book in my hand? That's actually the catalog he was talking about. A Nation Takes Place, Navigating Race and Water in Contemporary Art. It's got all of the different pieces from that exhibition he held last year, sort of a 10-month exhibition, all of the art that was featured there, just so if people didn't catch it, they can still see what was on display.
Yeah, very interesting. Evan, thank you so much for looking into that and heading to Winona to investigate. The move has many Minnesota artists worried about the future of NEA funding after the agency was listed among several others in President Trump's 2026 budget recommendation letter to the Senate Appropriations Committee.